A pretty underwhelming game at the Emirates. It felt like today was a real opportunity for Arsenal to take a hold of the Champions League semi-final. We all know at home PSG's form is incredible. We all saw the difference in when they were playing at home against Aston Villa in comparison to when they were playing at Villa Park. Arsenal had a few moments today, but it just seemed to me as if they never really clicked. The way they did against Real Madrid, the performances they put in there will be unforgettable for all Arsenal fans forever. Tonight, they ticked along. They were okay. PSG scoring the one and only goal that gave them the 1-0 lead with Dembele in the first 3 minutes. There was 26 passes that led to that goal, which is a crazy start. And this was Arsenal caught lacking in the early stages of a game. They had every opportunity to stop Dembele, who was given free rein in the middle of the park. You can't let a player like that just take the ball and run 30 yards forward, who then, after all the passes before it, a quick 1-2 with Kvaratskhelia, and Dembele just slots it in the bottom corner, and you could see how dejected all the Arsenal players were. All the preparation, all the videos before the game about how the fans need to turn up, and they were caught sleeping straight away. On those videos, by the way, Arsenal fans, if you're watching, football fans, if you're watching, please remember to like and subscribe and leave a comment with your thoughts on the match. I'm intrigued to see what everyone thinks of Arsenal's and PSG's performance. But Arsenal fans, I saw a video from Mikel Arteta earlier today, and he was pretty much saying, we need your support. We need you to be on every decision. We need you to be there for every moment of the game. And admittedly, it's nice to see a manager so involved with the club. But I just think it gives ammunition for opposition fans when the atmosphere maybe isn't quite as good as it should have been for a Champions League semi-final. Maybe when you lose the game or get knocked out of the competition. I just think it's very strange. I don't see I wouldn't see Carlo Ancelotti doing a video like that, trying to hype up the Real Madrid fans before a Champions League match. I wouldn't see any other manager, Pep Guardiola, we need you there. It was like a minute-long video. I don't know, it kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Fair enough, he's very involved with the clubs and maybe the Arsenal fan base are a huge fan of things like that. But he did say, be on the back of every decision. And I thought the referee was particularly poor in today's game. Not that he made too many outlandish decisions, but he certainly cut up the game a lot, booked a few Arsenal players early on and didn't need to do that. Just made it a very difficult game for himself to referee, if that makes sense. I think I'm quoting one of the commentators there, but that really was the case. It seemed as if everything was given as a foul, especially in the first half. There were some harsh ones against Arsenal. At one point, there was also a shout from Kvaratskhelia for a penalty when Saliba kind of has his arm around him and Kvaratskhelia goes down very easily. I personally don't think it was a penalty, but if the ref would have made that decision on the pitch, VAR certainly wouldn't have overturned it, and I don't think it's one that everyone would be crying about online for a long time, so maybe Arsenal got off a little bit lucky there. But yeah, the ref today kind of stopped it being as free-flowing as I would have liked, but PSG was certainly the more free-flowing team in moments. Some of the passing movements that they put together, I especially noticed one at about 70 minutes in where Arsenal were really going for it. The press was on every single player sprinting after the ball, and PSG just managed to ping it around, calm, collected, keep possession, and then go through and create a decent attacking opportunity. I can see why they've got this far in this competition. And there was a lot of talk before the game about how PSG on paper have had a much better team for the last couple of years. And I think they have really emphasised how much the team actually matters. When people say they had a much better team, they didn't. They had much better individuals. They had Messi, they had Mbappe, they had Sergio Ramos, they had all these stars, but these stars seem to play for themselves, not for the team. And it's really clicking for them at the minute. And as much as I'm a Leeds United fan for all context, I would like Arsenal to get to the final. I would probably like Arsenal to win the competition. I think PSG, in terms of the football they play, the way that they've managed to transform the vision of the club from the top down, and they're going for a new ethos and a new way to bring players in and bring players through, maybe deserve a go at the Champions League, at least deserve a place in the final. And I think it'll be very, very difficult for Arsenal to overturn this 1-0 scoreline. I know Villa went and nearly did it at Villa Park, but the atmosphere, even just from the away fans today, was insane. From minute one, they were constantly bouncing around, flares going off when they got the goal, just hectic. And I've been to the PSG ground before. I want to try pronounce it, Parc des Princes. Am I correct there? I'm getting that from FIFA. But it is great, and the ultras there are fantastic. And I think that Arsenal will really struggle to break them down. And when they do try, and they'll have to, it'll leave them very open on the counter-attack for that PSG attack to just go and dismantle them. A big shout out for today goes to Donnarumma, who made 2 fantastic saves. A chance just towards the end of the first half for Martinelli, where he gets the ball, runs through, kind of coming in at the edge of the box, but, you know, practically a one-on-one, puts it across the goal. Donnarumma manages to get a very strong hand to it. And then a very similar chance, probably a little bit easier, more central for Trossard in the second half. And again, Donnarumma gets fingertips to that one and just pushes it wide. There was some kind of drop in form for him for a little period, but it seems like he is back to being one of the best goalkeepers in the world, and today proved exactly why. Against Liverpool in that penalty shootout, he proved exactly why. He's just top quality, and PSG have got a keeper on the hands there who still isn't very old and is going to be able to do it for years to come. But the Arsenal defence generally, apart from falling asleep in the first few minutes, managed to kind of dull out any attacking prowess from PSG for the majority of the game. There was a very good save from Raya. I can't remember who took the shot for PSG in the first half, where Raya managed to get down very quickly. But apart from that, the Arsenal defence did a very good job. It just seemed like, to me, the attack was the element that let them down a little bit today. Yes, they created a few decent opportunities. I think a draw probably would have been the fairest result looking at the game. But the Arsenal attack just didn't seem to quite click, didn't seem to quite get it. And every time I see Arsenal in a big game, in a big run of games in the Premier League, in a big competition like this, it always just screams out that they're missing that out-and-out number 9 that can drag them through situations like this. Yes, they've got Martinelli and Saka with the pace and skills, and Trossard, etc., who can beat a man, but they're just missing someone who, when they whack a ball in the box and it's not from a set piece, that can just get the head on it, that can just put it in the net whenever they need him to. They've not had that for so many years now. So many years. The last time they had a striker who was probably top level, not even like elite top level, was Aubameyang, and he dropped off a cliff towards the end of his career there, but when he was on form, he was very good. I think Arsenal are really missing that player. Maybe it could be Ollie Watkins this summer. It's looking like he might be on the way out of Villa, and I know he's meant to be an Arsenal fan, so that could be an opportunity. Arsenal fans, would you take him? Let me know in the comments. Let me know what you thought of today's game. And if you are a football fan, please do remember to hit like and subscribe. We're very quickly approaching 1,000 subscribers. I am so excited to hit that number, and I appreciate everybody who hit subscribe. Thanks for watching. Peace.